Since Mom's not around, I've been playing with new toys. Mom's not here to play with, so I play with toys now. So here's my new Sharp Grandpa's TV turned to computer monitor. I had to turn the resolution so high, those icons have to double their size. I mean, everything gets lost on this huge screen. It's 43 inches across. But anyway, what I wanted to show is a couple toys. The first thing is this little device here. I bought there $25. It's an oscilloscope, but it also has a bunch of other functions too. I'll show you in just a second. These little boards come by animal or dog names. This one's, they have Beaglebone, all sorts of beagle and so forth. This one's a Labrador. Okay, but it's oscilloscope and some other functions. And then this is a very cheap logic analyzer, 8-channel logic analyzer. Could use it to test some shit out. And but anyway, the software that comes with these is just fucking amazing. So this is the oscilloscope one. You can see the oscilloscope. There's 2 channels. Actually, you can only see one right now. But so what I did was I took the oscilloscope has not only has a oscilloscope, but also has a function generator. So I took the 2 signals out of it and ran it over into the logic analyzer, 2 channels there. And so when you turn on, it's running right now at, if you look at 1 kilohertz on the 2 different channels, and then you run the pulse, the logic analyzer, and you run it, it measures all the pulses coming out, and you can see all the pulses coming out. It's really cool. 1 kilohertz pulses, 2 of them, one channel to the other. So if you change over here, for instance, this to instead of 1 to 10 kilohertz, and then run the pulse view again. Find the button to run it. It runs, and then it makes lots of pulses, and then you span them out. And so one channel is running 10 times faster than the other. There's 10 pulses for every one if you count them out. So this thing works amazingly well. So this sort of thing, you use this pulse thing, you use for analyzer, you use for looking at integrated circuits. And it basically measures only pulses, and that is digitizes everything, and it has amazing capabilities. But the most important capability is this one right here, is that it can analyze those pulses in all sorts of different settings. So for instance, integrated, or let's see here, let me find something that's common. What about you? I don't think you see anything real common here. Oh, I gotta touch this thing. So all these sort of signals, it can analyze and convert them from digits to words, basically, which is amazing. So this thing is really powerful. This little board here, this little thing here, $10, can't beat it. And then the oscilloscope board, which I'm using the because it has, oops, right over here, here's the oscilloscope thing. See, it has oscilloscope. I'm using the signal generator right now to make that thing as a multimeter logic analyzer, which is pretty weak compared to the other one, because the other one has pulse generator, pulse view, which is one of the more sophisticated digital analyze thing. It has a power supply, so you can do that. So that one board that makes the oscilloscope, the one I just showed you, is only $25, and this one's $10. Okay, so those are my toys there. And so that's one toy. Now the other toy I've got, which I figured out, is this is my home assistant over here, which is right there. I put this new dongle on there, and it's a radio frequency dongle. So, of course, it has its own antenna there, and it's tunable between anywhere from 20 to 2,000 megahertz. And the beauty of it is, it's amazing. So basically, you take that and you install a home assistant, and you can see all sorts of things in your house that you can't imagine. So I bought a rain gauge thing. It's accurate rain gauge. I want to know how much it rains outside. This thing, the rain gauge right here, this thing right here, costs $22. And see, it has a stupid meter thing, which is useless. But you can port the data, because now Home Assistant can receive the radio frequency signal from this gizmo right here, rather than this gizmo transmitting to this thing, being kind of stupid. It sends directly to my Home Assistant. I can actually see the rainfall. This system, this one radio frequency at 433 megahertz has like 200 classes of devices that it can listen to in the house. It includes like mom's car, can believe it or not. Her button that opens and closes, or remote of the car, it can actually detect that. It can't decode it, but it can detect that it went on and off. That's about all it can do, because it's going to be encrypted. But it's amazing. So there's all sorts of devices that you can now add to Home Assistant with this. I can add now, based on this. It's called R433 RTF. I'm thinking about getting another one of these things. Send this back to Amazon, because this little fella, it's pretty hot. They make them $10 more. I can get one of the aluminum case that has cooling. Probably a good idea. That thing is getting hot. It's actually the best one, cheap one that you can buy. Anyway, those are some of the things I'm working on right now. Okay.